Okay, hello everybody. Let's get started this webinar. Geoffrey, can you confirm that you see my screen?
Yes, we're good.
Okay, great. Okay, let's start. So welcome to our webinar. The topic is production organization and follow-up in Steel Projects PLM. I am Colin MAYMON. I'm the sales manager of the company. The duration will be about 25 minutes, more or less. And if you've got question, you can use the box in Zoom meeting to ask your question. Introduction. Okay, so here we've got a chart that you can find on our website. We're going to speak about this item here, which is production planning and preparation and live production monitoring. Okay, you can retrieve this chart and all the features we've got in PLM on our website. So during this webinar, we will discover how to configure and use a virtual representation of the workshop, both manual workstation and CNC machine. Screen you can see here. Get focus time of production at different levels. Set predefined workflow according to the select parameter. Adjust workflow live according to machine loads. Collect automatic feedback and manual feedback. Track progress using color codes in PLM and on 3D models, and track the workshop activity live. So the benefit of this solution is time saving, flexibility, reduction of bottlenecks, error prevention, maximization of the workshop capability, simplification of the processes, productivity gains, reduction of unnecessary handling operation, improve control of workstation activity, improvement of the final customer satisfaction, which is the goal at the end of the process. Okay, so let's jump into Steel Projects PLM. I will open it here. So it's a live webinar. Right? It's not recorded or pre-recorded. It's something we do live, as usual. Okay, so let's go in Production Manager. Okay, so I've got a project here called Feature Open House. First thing I wanted to show you is now in Steel Projects PLM, if you click right and go on drawing, if you go in preview there, you can have a preview of your 3D model. Okay, so whether you import an XML from Tekla or an IFC from Tekla or from another software, you will retrieve in PLM your 3D model like you've got here. Okay, so I'm just showing it here like that, and we'll see after that we can have some feedback coming in. So talking about planification and production preparation. In PLM, we've got a virtual layout, okay? This virtual layout is composed of the different machines you've got in your workshop. So that layout I did made from my mind, okay? So this layout can be modified with our help or by yourself easily. If you want to add a machine, you can easily take it, like we will take an Excalibur in this case, slide it there, and add it in your workflow. Okay, so it's quite easy. You have to make the connection here. And then let's say it will go directly to assembly. Okay, so it's quite an easy process to make, to add a machine in PLM. So this, once again, this workflow is made to put all your CNC machine, as we can see here. Here we've got drill and saw, we've got machine for flats, angle line, we've got plate machine, but also your manual workstation, okay? So you've got here assembly, quality control, painting, shipping, but you could have, you could add whatever other manual workstation you would like revision or whatever, okay? So it's up to you to redo or to modify your workflow and your workshop, your virtual layout as you want. in this virtual layout, you can predefine also some profile group, means you can predefine some angles, you can predefine some flats, profile, tubes, and define the way it should go. So if we look at my angle, we can see that we've got a flow which is first going on this machine, then on this second machine. You can put some parameters depending on your profile, for example, if they are big or small. So you can predefine some parameters in order for the software to launch on such or such machine. To predefine those parameters, it's working in a workstation. If no, it's not in workstation. Sorry, I'm mixing up my mind. Profile group. You can create a profile group which is a profile small, for example, and you've got some details here, and you can decide that between 0 and 301 millimeters, it will call profile small, and it will go on such machine. If it's a big one, okay, if it's let's say the profile big, which is over 300 millimeters, you will predefine it here, and it will go on another machine with another track. So it's up to you to define that and to have it prepared in PLM. In PLM, so I'm going to jump back in Production Manager where I had my project before. In PLM, you can create fabrication job. Okay, so that's quite important also to prepare and make planification of the production. You can create fabrication job. So you take your project, you slide it down. Okay, and you will filter what you want to produce. For example, all your profiles, big and small. You will apply and click on OK. Sorry, I have to do something before. I didn't do. Just I have to check those parts. Okay, so just let me do it again. I will filter my big and small, my flat. Okay. So when you do that, you will create a fabrication job composed of those big and small profile. Okay. So just let me go in fabrication job. If we go there in fabrication job, we will see that we did create a fabrication job composed of those files. So it's here. The composition is my big and small profile of my project. So the fact to create fabrication job is also an help for the planification of your production. So I will call it webinar profiles. Okay. You need to know, but I think most of you know that you can mix different projects in one fabrication job. Here I'm working with only projects feature open house, but I could mix 2, 3, 4 projects and filter all the beams of this project. It would be possible. So when you send in production this fabrication, you can see your virtual layout. So the virtual layout here is the one I did show you before, but now what we can see is that we have some machines. So we have machines with 90% of the production of my beams going there and 9% there, because I've got beams over 300 millimeters and under 300 millimeters, okay? I've got a time estimation per components. Here, we didn't make any nesting for the moment. We are talking about components. So I can see that this component will last 22 minutes of production, okay? This component will last 23 minutes with detail, cut, drill, scribing. So you have an estimating time per components. Before to make a bar nesting, you've got this estimating time. Here you can also route the production. What does it mean? If I select a bunch of components here, I can move them on a machine or another, okay? So let's say I will take those 3 ones, those 3 first one, and I will take them and slide them down. If I do it again, you will see that all those machines which are not concerned by the production will disappear. So when I slide it here, I can put it on this machine drill and saw. So I will move those 3 items to these machines. Now we see we don't have any more 9%, but 24% on this machine. So you can route the production. You've got estimating time and routing of the production. Now let's make a nesting. I don't speak about the nesting today. You've got a webinar. We did make webinar on the nesting that you can retrieve on our YouTube channel or on our website. I'm just making a quick nesting in order to show you the rest. So when the nesting is done, the production will go through the virtual layout again, but not as a component, but as a bar, okay? And we will have time estimation per bar and not per component anymore. Okay, so it's coming. Just a bit of patience. Okay, here we are. So now what do we have here? Bars, okay? I've got my 10 bars and I've got a time estimation per bar. Here it's 14 minutes. Bar number 5 is 50 minutes, okay? We've got 40 minutes of drilling, 7 of cutting, plus 3 minutes of handling on the machine. Bar number 10, 1 hour and 14 minutes, okay? So you've got an estimating time once again per bar and not anymore per component. And at this stage, you can also decide to move this bar number 1, which is going on this drill and saw. You can route it on this one. So if I take it, slide it up there, I will see that I don't have any 70, it was 75%, now it's 78. So I can route a bar which has been nested from a machine to another, okay? And you can also see the time estimation per workstation. So if I look at my 1103 3D DVB, I've got 1103 3D DVB, 32 items for 8 hours of production. On the drill and saw, it's 9 items for 1 hour and 45 minutes, okay? So I will save and click on action and send the production in the workshop. So what I can see here in my fabrication job webinar profile is that it has been sent in production with this light green color codes. If I go in production manager, I will retrieve the same color codes at the level of the project, not at the level of the fabrication job, but of the project. As you can see here now, 11.23% in terms of quantity and 71 in terms of weight of this job has been sent in production. I will see at the level of my assembly exactly the same color codes, okay? So I can see that this assembly, for example, whatever, this one, B14, has been partially sent in production. And if I go here on components, I will see which component has been sent, my IPE, but not the plate. So you've got these color codes telling you that it has been sent in production, but not produced yet. So feature machines, as we are feature group, are able, and that's a big advantage of feature machine, are able to feedback automatically the production. It means that when a machine is producing live, it will feedback all what it's doing, the production time, which item has been produced, the alarms on the machine, who was the operator. So that will come back automatically from feature machine. You've got also the possibility to manually feedback. So if I go on control here on fabrication manual input, I can select my nesting. Okay, here is webinar profile, and I can see some items. I can declare that, okay, whatever, all that has been produced. So I can manually feedback if I don't have a feature machine, and it will come back in PLM with a new color codes, which will be dark green. We're gonna see it here. Oh, didn't come back, but it should come back soon. Sorry, just watching if my services are working. Give me 1 second. Okay, let's go back in production manager. Okay, so it came back here. So you can see that sent 11.23%, tooled 4.77%. So this dark green color codes correspond to production on the CNC machine. Once again, with feature machines coming back automatically, or you can declare it manually as I just did before. If you go on your assembly, you will see exactly the same kind of color codes popping up, okay? So we can see, for example, this assembly B15 has been sent and 100% tooled, and you will retrieve exactly the same color codes at the level of your components here, okay? You can also use a module called Workshop Assistant. So we already made some webinars regarding Workshop Assistant. So I won't go too much in detail in it. You can retrieve the webinar in our website. But with the Workshop Assistant, you can also feedback all what is manual workstation. So the goal is to put the operator to put his name, to declare on which workstation is working on, can be quality control, can be the manual machine, can be assembly, for example, in the example I want to show you. You can work by job number, by project. So in my case, I will work with my job number. And I will declare that, okay, this item has been done and this item has been done, for example, okay? So the goal here, once again, I don't go deeply in explanation on this module. You can see it on another webinar. Just the goal is to feedback some manual work, which I'm doing now, back in PLM, and to show you that in PLM, it will come back with another color codes corresponding to assembly. So in my project, if you can see my workflow, send is light green, tooled is dark green, assemble is red. So we're gonna wait for the feedback to come in PLM. I will force it. Okay. So it will come back soon. It will come in PLM. So it didn't come, but it will come in red, as you can see just below, as assembled. We're gonna wait for the feedback to be done. We've got some reports available with all this feedback coming from the machine. So we've got reports available, of course, well, on a plate, on a bar nesting with a time estimating, as you can see here. It's a plate nesting here with a time estimation of 3 hours and 10 minutes. We can have reports also showing the efficiency of the machine. So that's a real example coming from a feature machine. You've got date and hour, okay? And you've got, here is a machine. You've got the name of the operator, the kind of profile, the length, when it did start, when it did end, the time it took in between, and the efficiency of the machine. So here it's an example on 3 days. You've got loads of bars. The last page is showing you the efficiency on these 3 days, which is quite interesting. You've got between this date and this date an amount of hour, which is 104 hours. Out of those 104 hours, the machine was off 24 hours and on 80 hours. Out of the 80 hours the machine was on, it was really feeding back something 73 hours. So it can be feedback of production, it can be feedback of tool changing, of alarms, or whatever. And out of these 73 hours, it was really producing, drilling, cutting, scribing, whatever, 57 hours. So you've got the efficiency of the machine, which is 71% in this case. And the difference between these 57 hours where the machine was producing and the 73 hours where the machine was feeding back something is here. So you can see the bottleneck here. It was 2 hours in alarms. It was 18 minutes in machine standby. It was 2 hours and 50 minutes in tool setup. It was nearly 7 hours ready to start with no one pressing the starting button. Okay, so here we've got a bottleneck because we did lose 7 hours with no one starting the machine. It was stopped with messages 1 hour and 26 minutes, and it was fed back of raw material 3 hours. So you've got in PLM not only the production back in here, but you also have some reports available with the machine, as I just did show you before. So now you can see that my assembly did feedback in PLM. So now I know that 2.47% has been assembled. Same principle, you will see exactly the same color codes popping up in PLM here on the assembly, on the components. Okay. So if I click right now, if I come back to what I did show you first on my drawings, on my preview, you will see that I still have my 3D model preview here. But if I click on feedback, here I will see color codes popping up with exactly the same color code we saw before. So here in transparent green correspond to light green, what has been sent in production but not produced. Here in full green or dark green is what has been sent and produced. And here in red is what has been sent, produced, and assembled. Okay. So here you can retrieve the color codes you've got back into the Tekla, into a PLM, into Production Manager module, back into your Tekla model, or once again, it's not only from Tekla. It can be an XML from Tekla or an IFC from Advanced Steel, sorry, or an IFC from whatever drawing software. We will be able to see this kind of feedback indirectly in the model. Okay, and last thing I wanted to speak with you is in 2023. So next year, we are planning to develop this module, which is workload sequencing, which will be in fact the start of our automatic planification module. It will be a part of it, not all of it, but next year what we plan to develop is the fact that you will be able to take the fabrication job you create in PLM. So all the fabrication jobs that you're creating in PLM, you will be able to slide them. So fabrication job is this one. You will be able to slide them in a Gantt graphic in order to have some alarms in case your machine is overloaded with some production, because you already slide a lot of fabrication job inside. This tool will help you to show what has been launched and how many hours or days of production you've got forecasted on a machine, in order to slide and to put your fabrication job the best way possible in this Gantt graphic. So that will be the start of a module that we hope to be more automatical in the future, but that will be launched in 2023 and available at this stage. So, well, I think that what we wanted to show you today on these items of planification and preparation of production. I hope it did help you. I don't know if you've got a question. If you've got a question, you can ask them in a box which is dedicated for question and answer. So I'm going to wait for 1 or 2 minutes to see if we've got question popping up. Otherwise, that will be the end of our webinar for today. So something I didn't tell you, you can retrieve all, you will be able to retrieve this webinar and all the past webinar we did before last year and in 2021 in our website, okay, in Steel Projects PLM. Here in our website, we've got a section called webinar. And when you go on it, you will retrieve all the webinar we did in the past. So I've got a question here. Thank you, great. You're welcome, Thomas. So yeah, you can retrieve all our webinar in different languages: English, French, Spanish, Portuguese, Italian, all what we did in the past year back in our webinar section in PLM, in Steel Projects PLM software, sorry, not software, but website. Okay, I think there's no more question because I don't think anything popping up. So that is the end of our webinar for today. Thanks for joining, and see you next time. Bye.